Hey guys, Coach Farrelly. So today's video is about taking body measurements. Now, the equipment you'll need for that depends on which body measurements you're going to take. Some people respond to this, some people don't respond to this, some people find it incredibly stressful, or they might have a misunderstanding on how it works, whereas other people like that are really data driven really respond to it well because it gives them a before and after picture. And it helps them set targets, and it might give them something that they can chase. And you notice that the different personality types, like different people you might come across in life, all get motivated by different things. So I'll really give you a quick rundown on some of the basics that you can use for body measurement. So the obvious ones are things like you can take the chest, waist and hips, and you'll need standard tape measure. And another one that some people take that they might misunderstand is their body weight on a set of scales. Now, where this can sometimes be a problem is that if you're not aware of this, like when you start turning your life around, when you start training, whether it's through the exercise and or nutrition and other tools that you're using, your body fat can be going down, but your muscle mass can go up. On the set of scales, that can show as an increase on the scales, and then some people get really disheartened and think that all that hard work they're putting in is pretty much a waste of time, and then they'll just give up, or they'll get angry, frustrated, they might blame other people, or saying that this just doesn't work for them. But that's also why we take the body measurements too. Like as your body fat goes down, your muscle mass going up, you might find that your clothes, your existing clothes, are getting bigger. So what might have felt like a shorts that fitted perfectly might start to feel like a parachute, and that's also a really good positive sign. One of the things I know I respond really well to, in both a positive and a negative way, is taking photos. If you're going to take photos, you want to take it from 3 different angles. I'll go into that in a minute when I show you how to do these measurements. Maybe for a male, taking your top off, just being in underwear, and same with the female, maybe just doing your underwear. But if you're going to do it in private and have someone that you trust. If you're not really comfortable, you could try just a swimwear or something that's not really tight and that's going to sort of give you a false impression on the way you currently are. And then when you've taken these measurements, I'd highly recommend that you keep a record of them. Now with software, there's so many great software out there. I don't recommend one over the other. It's where you'll need to do your own research. And I don't have a vested or financial interest in any particular app or software or technique or system. But ever since I've started training, I've just used a free MyFitnessPal account. It's really easy to use, easy to set up, but I'll let you guys decide on how you're going to record this. But once you've recorded some measurements, and then later on in a few weeks when you go to retake the measurements, I'd also recommend doing a comparison, because sometimes that can show you things like where you might have gone well, where you might not have gone well, where you might be able to improve on things. You might notice things like your posture improving as well, so that gives you a bit of a pickup. I'm just going to really quickly show you now how to take some body measurements with a tape measure. So I'm just going to stand up doing that. Now this first one with the chest, a little bit awkward saying this with the ladies, but it's the easiest way of doing it. So you want to use landmarks on your body that don't really change. So with the chest, one of the landmarks is across the nipple line, and you want to keep your arms by your side. If you're not really comfortable doing this, I don't feel right, get someone to help you, and you want to make sure the tape measures straight too, that it's not twisted or some weird angle. And then once you've got the measurement, just like I said, record the measurement. With the next one, waist, I've noticed these next two different people teach different ways. One way to do it, if you look at some landmarks on your body, if you feel you've got the top of your hip bone, and then if you feel up a bit, you'll feel the bottom of your ribs, and then there's a small gap, so about there. You want the tape measure just in between. Now when you're doing, and you want it in between on both sides, when you're doing this, you don't want to suck your stomach in. And like I said before, don't wear like compression clothing or really tight clothing that's going to give you a false measure. Just be relaxed as much as you don't really, you might think, yeah, I'm going to get a really bad measurement. You want to give a true measurement. And then once you've taken that sometimes for various reasons, people might not be able to do that one. The other one, belly button doesn't really change position much, so just put the tape measure over the belly button. The other one with the hips, when you're doing things like the hips, make sure if you've got, say, keys in your pockets or a wallet in your pocket, or if you've got really thick, heavy clothing, you might want to consider using something else. This is another one where I notice people teach it differently. Generally what I do is where the butt sticks out the most at the back, so I'll be from the side taking the measurement. Where the butt sticks out the most, I'll just take it from there, and that's where I'll keep it consistent. When it comes to taking photos, you want to make sure that the lighting is really good. I'll just do a little test. Like, say for example here, with the lighting, the sunlight's coming from this direction, you might notice some shadows here, might be a bit more brighter here. So you want to try to use natural light if you can, but be aware of shadows, because sometimes that can make the photos look a little bit different. So you want to keep that lighting consistent. So say for example, I might be, say, standing up against this wall. The light there is a bit more consistent, as you can see. And when you're taking the photos, you want to do different angles and directions. So you'll notice a personal trainer, if he's training you, he'll look at different angles, because it might look perfect from the front, but from one side or the other side or from behind, that might not be a very good movement. So you want to take it front on, you want to get from the head right down to the toes. That's where you might need to adjust the position of the camera. And like I said, you might need someone to help you. You want to take one from one side, one from behind, and I'd also take one from the other side, because you might notice, say for example with me, my body posture is out slightly, and I find that my right shoulder sort of rounds forward a bit more than the left, and if I just take the photo from the left, I might not notice it as much. So just exaggerating a bit my both my shoulders are rounded and going forward, and you'll notice that my hands are pointing backwards, but and as I said, I'm exaggerating, my right is a bit more than my left. So there. Yep. And then also with the body weight on the scales, some scales give body fat percent, and that's sometimes is a bit of an approximation, so I wouldn't take that as a hard and fast rule. To get like a true body fat representation, you might want to do something like get a DEXA scan done. What that does is that you'll lay down, a machine will pass you a number of times, it scans your body, it'll break down things like limb by limb, what your bone density is, what your muscle mass is, body fat levels are. It even looks into your internal organs, so you can see sort of like the body fat around those organs. So that's real dangerous body fat, the body fat around the organs in your body. So I'll just quickly summarize what we've done. So some of the measurements you can take are your chest, waist, hips. You can take your body weight on the scales. You can also take photos, and I've shown you the ways that you can record or take those measurements. And then, like I said, I'd highly recommend you recording those and then doing a comparison before and after. If you've got any questions, just let me know. And if you need help setting up something like MyFitnessPal, let me know as well. Thanks for watching, guys. Catch you guys up later.